What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 Into the Light news, but also we've got a few bits to talk about regarding the final shape and potential future of the Destiny franchise. But firstly, Bungie jump in and offer a handful of updates. That includes issues related to server stability, but also disabled perks, warnings about certain issues in the game, and they publish a new free emblem. So we'll talk about that, but also we'll round up a bunch of upcoming quests for this update, a handful that take us to different destinations to find the mechanical dog, but also upcoming intrinsic upgrade quests, new secret areas, and a handful of other things which we'll round up in the video. So as always guys, I hope you find this one useful today, and if you do, a rating below helps us out no end. But now, let's get into it. And firstly, as we often see with new Destiny updates, there has been a whole bunch of instability with the game. Bungie Help have said, our investigation continues to resolve issues related to server stability, quest progression, and reward issues, but as a result, some D2 API features will remain disabled overnight to help with server stability. So for ongoing issues, Bungie are certainly looking into it, and hopefully it'll continue to settle down across the course of the day. Other quick updates though, and Bungie have said, due to an issue, the Cascade Point weapon perk has been disabled, so there was some kind of exploit going on with that one. And otherwise, other players have warned, be careful if you're picking up the new player kits from the chest in the Hall of Heroes, and these are the ones that give some subclass abilities, an armor set, weapon, and an exotic. But if you're not a new player, picking it up can actually reset the subclass abilities on all of your loadouts with the subclass that you collect. So picking up the solar kit will reset all solar abilities in a saved loadout. So keep that in mind. Kind of an annoying bug, hopefully one that Bungie will have fixed soon. But outside of the brand new content, folks have been discussing a leak that happened about a month ago, and the game post shared that a Reddit user shared a leak about a new system coming with the final shape called Prism that will allow players to mix and match abilities from different subclasses. And if we fast forward to now, of course, Bungie have just revealed that in the final shape preview. So that part turns out to be correct. But interestingly, that same leak said that Destiny 3 was, or is, in development under the codename Payback. And one of the big changes for D3 is that classes will no longer exist and allow any class to spec into any ability. The user also added that this is information they got from former Bungie employees, and they can't verify whether it's up to date, but a potential Destiny 3 suddenly seems more possible given that other elements of this leak have turned out to be correct. On top of that though, Luke Smith appeared at the start of Bungie's preview and said that facing the witness is not the end of Destiny 2, and it's definitely not the end of Destiny. And beyond the final shape, Bungie plan to tell us what's coming next for Destiny 2 and beyond. So who knows, potentially a third game in the franchise could be a thing. We have to take that with a pinch of salt until we get more details, but it's looking more like a possibility than perhaps we would have expected a few months back. So give us your thoughts about it down below and I'll keep you posted if we get any news. Up next though, to discuss a few pursuits for the Into the Light drop. Players have been discussing a triumph with a hidden shader that requires us to find Archie anywhere in the system. Of course, Archie is the robot dog, and there are a couple of places which have been in the game for a while where we can find the robot dog, but those don't appear to be triggering the triumph. However, there are a series of quests that ADA-1 has for at some point in the near future, where we need to track down Archie on different destinations. So, for example, there's one to find Archie on Neomuna, and we need to speak to Nimbus before following a trail of hints via the text lines to ultimately find the robot dog. There are 6 of these quests in total on different destinations, and upon completion, each of them will give us a curious item, things like the Spinfoil hat or Devrim's favourite mug. But in addition to that, we get 10 trophies of bravery upon completion as well. So another minor element right there for the season, and some interesting secrets. But ADA-1 also has the access to the 0 hour mission for when that drops. And so the Outbreak Perfected exotic quest is called Asset Protection, and 0 hour can be launched from the Into the Light subscreen on the Director. But beyond that, we'll have the 3 intrinsic upgrade quests, and there's Outbreak Refined 1, and we need to defeat Fallen in the Cosmodrome to claim inert Siva clusters. Refined 2, where we need to defeat Fallen in Exodus Garden 2A, and Refined 3 to defeat Fallen in the Devil's Lair Strike in the Cosmodrome. There are other steps in those quest threads, but that's the general outlay for how we'll get Outbreak Perfected and the upgrades that follow. But it would appear there are other secrets in this update as well, including hidden areas inside of the social space. Especially near the starting rooms, there are a couple of small vents we can head through that have a bunch of interesting artifacts from the past, including faction banners, weaponry, and a bunch of other items, and it's possible that certain hidden things could show up there over time. So that looks pretty interesting, in, but of course, Final Shape appears to have a whole bunch more components that we hadn't previewed yet, including the new enemy faction, which look really cool, updates to the armor, of course the prismatic subclass component, and exotic class items. And Hawkmoon and Matata on Reddit did list a bunch of the potential perks for those. And of course, exotic class items are going to have the spirit of other exotic perks attached to them. So there are perks like Spirit of Ophidian, where all weapons ready faster, Spirit of Star Eater, and while your super is full, orbs overcharge your super, granting bonus damage. And then Spirit of Assassin, where powered melee kills and finishes turn you invisible. Spirit of Syntheseps, which gives increased melee damage while surrounded. And we can see there is Liar's Handshake, Verity's Brow, Heart of Inmost Light, Caliban, Coyote, and the Stag, which offer slightly different variants of the original exotic bonuses, but these will be able to go on a class item and be used by any class as far as we know. So an interesting way of taking up our exotic slot, and as we saw in the reveal, Bungie are really throwing the sandbox out the window and absolutely breaking everything, or at least that's how it would appear via the gameplay. So there'll be an interesting conversation about balance beyond the launch of Final Shape. For today though guys, that's what we have to round up in this video. We'll have plenty more coming though, so get subscribed to the channel and I will keep you up to date. Otherwise, if you found the video interesting, a rating below really helps us out, and give us your initial impressions on Into the Light and the Final Shape reveal in the comment section. Otherwise though, thank you for tuning in today, and I will catch you guys very soon.
As the Final Shape approaches, and the forces of the Witness surge at the borders of the city, Lord Shaxx has been authorized by the Vanguard to place an arsenal of banned weapons from his personal collection back into circulation.
Powerful gear for a powerful Guardian. Good luck. Careful with that.
Weapons we once deemed heretical, we now see as desperate measures.
I know you'll use this well. Fight well.
Pushing back buys us only time, but the alternative is unthinkable.
I can't wait to see what you do with that. Magnificent. Nice. It's time, Guardian. Crush them. Let them come. Show me what you've got.
So if the enemies of humanity want war, let's give them war.